My name is Brock, and this is the Dungeon Master's Toolkit Podcast. Welcome to Session 0 of the Dungeon Master's Toolkit Podcast. My name is Brock, and I will be your host. If you're familiar with role-playing games, you may be familiar with the term of Session 0 or Episode 0. In a Session 0, players and the Dungeon Master usually lay out what they plan to have happen for their game, set expectations, tone, and just discuss characters and everything that they want to get out of the game. In this short episode, I'm going to talk about what Dungeon Master's Toolkit is, what the format of the podcast will be, and give you a little bit of information about how you can be on the show. Let's get started. The primary goal of the show is to bring on Dungeon Masters and interview them and just see how they run their games and see if we can find out any tips or tricks to become better Dungeon Masters ourselves. The show doesn't focus on any specific system like Dungeons and Dragons or a Star Wars system. It really doesn't matter. There are a lot of systems out there, and having little bits of knowledge from every system is going to be a big benefit for the community. There's also no restrictions on how long a person has Dungeon Mastered for the interview. I want to talk to people who have been DMing for 6 months all the way to 30 years. I think the different levels of experience will give us different insights and just have different information to share. Next, let's talk about where you can listen to the show. Episodes of the podcast usually go live on Fridays, and you'll be able to find them on platforms like YouTube, Spotify, and through Anchor FM, which is Spotify's podcast hosting site. And they push it out to multiple other places like Google Podcasts and Breaker. There's also an RSS feed, so you can import it into your favorite podcast listening app. If you'd like to join the community, we have a Reddit page, r-Dungeon Masters Toolkit. We also have a Discord server, which is fairly active, so you can check out the links in the description of this episode or any of the episodes to find an invite to the Discord server. There we even have channels for suggestions and potential interview questions, and we can just chat about games and whatever you want. If you're also looking to be on the show, feel free to head over to either of those places, the Reddit page or the Discord server, and there is a form that you can fill out. It's a pretty short form with basic information like how to get a hold of you on either Reddit or Discord and time zones that would work well. And there's some optional information to put how long you've been DMing for, what systems you run, and that sort of thing. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the podcast and learned something about dungeon mastering, and I'd love to chat with you in the Discord server or on an actual interview.